Tokyo have already lost one man, the only casualty actually. So everyone else pretty good. They wanted to save the action for us.
Yeah, they heard the calls from us in the distance, like, don't start the game without us. And they were like, right, we'll make some casual rotates. We won't do anything too crazy in the meantime. We'll leave it up to you. But welcome back, everybody. Apologies for that. The space station, it went down for a couple of seconds. Our super speed internet was out. There was a small meteorite, but Jackie's jumped up into space. He's bashed that thing out the way like a one-punch man moment. So don't worry about it. We're back on call. We're ready to go. Already straight into this one. Reject holding over towards Potato Hill. We've seen that before from them, but down to 3 players, not ideal. The chase for Alpha 7 seems a little less doable, but for Precisa Evos, obviously this team has been stepping up in a big way. Zuxi and Luxi looking good. Red Face and Misery providing some excellent back there. In fact, I would even go as far as Red Face and maybe even stole the show for me a little bit so far in this group green, but a great team nonetheless that can hunt down Alpha 7. It feels like they've got the fire in the blood right now, and they can hear the cheers and the screams coming through from the Indonesian crowd, and they just want to do them proud.
Man, if you missed it as well, first 2 games we've had today have been delivering massively when it comes to storyline finishes. We've seen a lot of targeted attacks from teams trying to leapfrog over their fellow competitors, knowing who they can target for easy points, knowing who they need to stop gaining any coming into today. And how will those stories develop? What chapters will be written here on our second outing in Erangel? Only time will really tell. At the minute, though, it's nice we didn't lose any of our squads before the action came. So it still means there's possibilities for teams like Gladiators to maintain the safety zone they put themselves in towards making it to the survival stage. Right now, though, Alter Ego with connection across onto Falcons. It looks like in the distance. Now, Falcons might be the Bald Eagles blank, but they had a very unlucky first game on Erangel. Thought they would be slick with it and drop on Bra towards Saverni, but they got 1v4'd by the Bison and left with nothing, just 3 elimination points under their belt. They can't afford to have another sad state of affairs early into this one.
Yeah, for Falcons, time is running out for them. The hourglass flipped and the sand is pouring through an alarming rate. Alpha 7, though, taking down Zia. Look at that. That's cruelty. Pushing him into the tree line there. Our Quest all the way. Takes shots. Kitsune gets a hit to the chest there. Goes very, very low in the process. But they are just zooming in towards the circle. But it's a scary prospector thing. Madball's off in the distance. You've got Bra behind them. Lops Kitsune out the vehicle. Drops Gladiators down to 3. Not a safe position. This is the second time in a wrangle. They've down to be 3 players right off the get-go. However, they do get a central position inside the circle. How long can they hold it, though, with just the 3 players?
Bra, trying to slow down things for now. You've got a vehicle for the getaway at least, 2 of them to be precise. Bit of defensive utility in the back pockets as well, with a fair few smokes they can utilize to at least slow down any further commotion. Falcons, they're going to be hunting, looking down a ridge side, seeing if they can find anything from here. Bit of space being created as well as Teak will take them on a mission. Going for the full flank behind, looking to get a better position here behind Tiamba so that you can take the scrap from all angles. Problem is, Puncher's been found. It's worth grabbing that second vehicle for the rotate, and they will try and make it back into the blue.
Yeah, for Falcons just setting themselves on the edge, settling there for the time being. Reject did find a nasty little shot. It's actually an insane angle that was taken by Ragey up on high. Managed to just squeeze the bullet through the window, takes down 1 player, lets Tiamba know all about it. Don't mess with the Japanese on top of the Potato Hill over in this situation. Obviously, the circle moving up towards that northeast side supports Alpha 7, but it's Malese Esports still on a bit of a tear here. Probably one of our more consistent teams in the lobby. You got to love them for it. On the edge play as well, they're doing very, very decently. Taking down some of Stalwart's players, doing a bit of damage on that side. A Stalwart, once again, makes a textbook play for for Stalwart heading over towards the western edge of Potato Hill. Another circle swings its way through to us. It's non-stop train here over in the PMGC League stage. We are settling over towards apartments. Look at that, Alpha 7 already taking up position, looking to really cement in stone that third place position for themselves now.
Bullets and nades getting so close to audio. Getting a grasp on things here. Reply back from Potato, though. They don't know that this is his home turf, and he tries to lay claim to it. The nade will dispatch him and finish them off. So Poser striking down there. Alter Ego, that's 2 games back-to-back on Erangel Blank, where they haven't really been able to find anything. Both games, all they've had is 1 elimination in a pocket, so very minimal movement when it comes to the points. That's why Gladiators have been able to move even further ahead of them, now sitting pretty in 9th place, just behind Mad Balls, with a difference of a handful of points. Shame for Alter Ego. Blank really feels like today has not been their day.
Yeah, leaving the drafty door open as well for Tiamba and Falcons to feel the clean air breeze of that survival stage. Falcons obviously very far behind after their double bad games that they were able to accrue there. But 89 points, it's not unsurmountable at this point to get towards that. Tiamba as well might be able to overtake them, but Alter Ego right on the edge now. Only 3 matches for themselves left to play. We got DX heading over towards A7's home territory in the apartments, looking to evict them from these rooms. There's nades pouring in, but DX have settled themselves comfortably over towards that side of the compound, keeping themselves nice and safe away from the explosions, from the shrapnel, from the cacophony that is coming through from the 2 players on the apartment just across the way.
Ooh, a couple of pot shots. You can see the lay of the land here with the way these fights are going on all around these squads. A lot of big names in close proximity to one another. Meku has to manhandle Bra. Meanwhile, DX are challenged by Alpha 7. It's a 1-for-1 trade game being played as either side is suffering casualties. Levi's on the quick move, trying to adjust back towards the top floor and support his squad. Chow's been revived. You're looking to defend the doorway now, but they've bypassed it. Sanab's in Blank, in a building with a shotty. If he gets up close and personal, things could change very quickly. Dives out the window with a strike onto Levi's, waving goodbye to DX as they're getting decimated. Defending towards the stairwell. Nades bouncing off the side, ricocheting down and looking to silence Alpha 7. This is such an awkward fight. Mafioso, though, hell of an arc on that one.
That's a brilliant nade from Mafioso. Chua goes down and out forever for the rest of this game. Lamborghini, Paragin last remaining, and Alpha 7 refuses to give up. Reaver was slayed, but at least he did relay back that information of where the players were inside this compound, able to get some good nades off the back of that one, so his death was not in vain. Nade bounces back though, deals quite a bit of damage to Senna, but an instant reset from them. We'll see them looking a little bit prettier here.
But right now, this utility has been the backbone of either team's onslaught. The only casualties it feels like we're really seeing are when they go down to a well-placed grenade right on top of their noggins. But a minute, you can see the way the fights are developing across the battleground as well, with some teams already setting their focus on getting into the new zone, securing themselves center control early. Evos, though, thrust into a fight once again. Misery and Co. lucky to remain alive as they're chunking a lot of damage from Falcons. It's a bit of a rotate, though. Teak and Puncher far back, and they're giving up the groove on this one. Leave their teammate. He's going to be left for good, and they breeze off, playing for the late game and realizing they have to trade out their mates.
Yeah, I think they understand there's got to be not many people over towards apartments. The amount of fighting that's going over towards this eastern side, the least that they can do is pick up one of the many buildings that sit over towards this area. Malise Esports getting dumpstered on just a little bit by Stalwart right now. Stalwart is down to 3 players, and Malise can bring this back because it is an even split between the amount of players still kicking for both teams here. Tops, though, not one to be underestimated. However, the past couple of days, Stalwart have been slowly slipping in terms of performance, still pumping out those numbers, but nowhere near as successful as those first couple of days we saw from them. Mali's looking to pick up their player once again, as he did get knocked, and now Stalwart, they look to put on the pressure a little bit here, Jackie.
Thing is with Stalwart, it felt like it was a complete change of play style for them after day 2. They started playing an awful lot of edge, going for very slow rotates. Seems like they were happy to coast, knowing that they almost feel confident they'll have that guaranteed top 3, and just look to gain more experience in these lobbies, look to gain an understanding of how everyone else is playing for future reference.
Wow.
At the minute, though, they are just scrapping. It's them versus Malise with the assist of Rejects in the middle. Malise 1 by 1 will be mauled, going down to the bears of Stalwart as the claws have come out and cleaved their way through them. Reject have a good understanding of where exactly they are, though, Blank, and maybe the confidence is there for them. Closing the gap, playing behind the smoke walls, the vehicle will drag them closer and closer. Meanwhile, Gladiators swung upon. That nade could be filthy, but it's bounced.
Another Molotov doesn't quite get inside the building, but hefty damage is still getting hit through. Tixi once again falls. This is one of the few locations that is safe for Gladiators, but nasty nades over the top side. It's a nice molly outside the window as well, prevents them from leaving whatsoever, and Gladiators go out in 12th place, 0 eliminations, so their spot once again becomes a little bit rickety here. Reject, in the meantime, dealing with the players coming through from Stalwart. This team just looks so good, Jackie, so far. Some really nice plays, some really nice movements coming out from them. It's lovely to see the Japanese squad still thriving today. We wondered whether they would be stopping anytime soon. It looks like that's not the case.
No, if anything, it feels like they're starting to get back into more of that groove that we know they can use. Can they maintain that pace, though, over the course of this one? The zone's only going to get smaller, so room for error goes with it. Ooh, favouring up towards DX and Alpha 7. So a bit of a rotation path for some of our bigger names to make it up there. Chance for a clash between Rejects and Marbles, who had a bit of a scrap into our previous Erangel. They went face to face with one another. Tiamba have got a pretty good time of it as well. The only real competitors is the backline of Evos that are spamming bullets their way.
Yeah, you've got to admit that Tiamba has had a bit of a resurgence today, right? After that chicken dinner they were able to find yesterday, just feels like everything's stepped up in performance from this team. QZZ still going strong with it right now, looking for a little bit more on the game, on the situation.
Shots going over. A lot of damage back onto IA. Blade looked like he was ready to insert his way back into this game, but since then, they've gotten relative, not too much cover to play with. Evos, though, turning on cross as their close quarters engagement, driving straight by, baiting out the peaks, actually, Blank, and this allows some of the other teams to find an opportunity to strike on Tiamba and do so much damage to them. Stalwart also down as they're taken out of the equation, finished off by Rejects. This is getting aggressive now.
Yeah, totally unideal situation there for Tiamba, and a risky maneuver coming through from Procedure Evos pays off in a little bit of a way. You wonder how much longer they can live out in that position though, and it wasn't very long whatsoever. 4 eliminations found for them, but look at that. Alpha 7, 3 players, but 7 eliminations on the board. They are making this jump up so difficult for both Rejects and Procedure Evos. What a good day to have these big money games coming through for Alpha 7.
It's working out well for them. Tiamba, how can they play it though? Is there any more room for them to pad some points down to a 2? All of their games today have been pretty good when it comes to those snaky plays towards the end. When you're in a 1v4, when you're in a 2v4, you're just looking to claim eliminations to give yourself a bit more of a thrust. They've got 4 so far, could be 5 if Fleek can't survive. Backline from LY is good for the cleanup. And now you've fragmented Mad Balls as well. Potentially room for Quest to get stuck into this one. Bullets are being put down range. Alpha 7 also wanting to get stuck in. They want a piece of the pie. Bullets being thrown across from all angles, Blank. And this is getting a little bit rough for both Tiamba and Mad Balls.
Yeah, Lee just tries to crawl it way down the hill there. Potentially gets through. It's very unlikely, but he's got to take the chance on it. Now just QZZ, last remaining member for Tiamba. But you are right. They've just been getting towards these end games time and time again. You know, picking up points where they can off the back of the placement point. Remember, it's been a squeaky but decent run towards a survival stage at the end of the day here. Mad Balls want to push things just a little bit further, but it is Alpha 7 who is the scary prospect in this circle. Once again, find themselves in the end game in a really strong position. Falcons, though, after the back of that disengage of Procedure Evos, leaving one of their players behind to deal with them to cause chaos in the process, they were able to pick up the northern edge of apartments. And this game is so important for them. They need the points desperately now to keep themselves in the conversation, because if not, they're going to get kicked out.
You got to do something heroic. Really get some momentum under the wings in a spot like this. An intense circle. A lot of squads that have so much to prove and so much need for the points. You can see how close they are in the grouping, the middle of the pack, basically looking to leapfrog one another. Guarantee there won't be any easy pathway for the squads below to overtake them. Parajin on the peak, takes down AXA, fragments Falcons once again. Puncher and Teak, the only two that remain now. Zerich as well, struggling to stay alive here. Teak's found a peak off the back of the dinner plate. Ooh, nade for Parajin though. If he can find the right arc on this could be pretty big. Unfortunately for him, dashes it through the lower level window, won't connect where he wants it to, and won't inflict enough damage onto Falcons.
Quest is really only one point of call for them right now, and that calling is the chicken dinner. If they don't really get that, they're still not in the best of positions going forward. 6 eliminations on the game is great, but a chicken dinner would set themselves up towards that top 11, right? That is the main thing for them. From a 14th place, we're looking at a similar thing from Gladiators, and I think there's a lot of people that sort of were worried for this team in Quest. They were wondering why they weren't doing so well. This is now an opportunity for them. It's a big opportunity, and it's one where they really can't afford to make tunes. Zerich is allowed to get down towards another rock. He's currently in the circle now. Now, some apartments have to leave, but Parajin has just been so sick with the grenades. Another team that really wanted some points on this match was Falcons, but they've been exploded, removed from the map. And now it's just QZZ. Once again, Tiamba, the Black Mamba, the snaky plays coming through from this team, looking to get a better placement once again, already into the top 5. It's kind of sick.
It's a good move, Flank.
9 nades, bro.
Oh, look at how he's using them as well. The first one's fantastic. That's a 3-pointer and a half, but Lamborghini's closed the gap.
No way!
He doesn't see him inside of the smoke. He's able to strike back just as he goes down. Oh my, the Martyrdom play as he proves he's a Don with a shotty up close, but Tiamba still out. Last few eliminations, stat padding, Alpha 7 eating damage from Quest as well. Quest, is there a chance that they can thrust themselves further on this one?
Al-Haji down, their big man in the front lines, out of it. Now it's down to Fahidan, sending some nades over the top, but not a lot remaining. Another Molotov goes through. Senav's incredibly low, but not quite done just yet. With Carrillo hitting some sick nades, but that's a lovely Molotov coming through from Fahidan. Completely stops their approach here. They know that Alpha 7 wants to get closer. They need to keep hitting these shots. One player's preoccupied with the res. Senav behind the tree takes a lot of damage. Basically nothing left than easy. Presses the issue for Quest now. What a big game for them. Chicken dinner was required, and they're delivering.
Al-Haji, during the interview today, said that the side felt a bit down in the dumps, but this has surely got to give you more confidence. They just need to finish off Frozen, secure their chicken dinner, and Quest have surely got momentum back, Blank. They're celebrating for the first time today.
Al-Haji, a little bit of celebration, but I think that's more mixed in with relief for this squad. So needed. Kiss on the forehead.